partakers of flesh and blood. Therefore, he also partook of the same. He also partook of flesh and blood, that through death, you have to have a flesh and blood body in order to experience death, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is, the devil, and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage. In other words, Jesus allowed death to swallow him whole, so that from the inside he could round up all of his followers of former ages, and he could blast a way out for all of his followers to follow out of death. And so now death can no longer keep down the followers of Christ. And he is a defeated enemy, a defeated foe. And the death was the devil's primary weapon against mankind. And now Jesus has permanently sabotaged it for all of his followers. He disarmed the devil. So today, we're going to see the third reason why we celebrate Christmas. It's because that's when our Messiah became the dragon slayer. But when Jesus died on the cross, he entered death's kingdom not as a victim, but as a victor. Not as a captive, but as a captain. Not in tragedy, but in triumph. Not as a prisoner, but as a prince. For death to swallow the author of life would be the ultimate poison pill for death. For Jesus to enter the realm of death, that was not an incarceration, it was a jailbreak. I remember years ago I read some story about some super spy that wanted to break some other super spy out of a maximum security prison in the middle of Siberia. And the only way that he could get inside was to get arrested. And he became a prisoner, but he wasn't. Because as soon as he got in, he took off his prosthetic leg and started taking out all these high-tech things to make his escape. And he got him and the people that he went in to rescue, he got them all out. And as I read that, I thought, that's what Jesus did. He allowed death to take him so that from the inside, he could use all of his superpowers to round up his followers and lead them out. That's exactly what Jesus did. So now Christians do not have to live in perpetual fear of death. Now, of course, we want to accomplish what God has sent us to this world to do before we go. But as far as fearing what's on the other side, we don't have to worry about that. We know what's on the other side awaiting us, and it's eternal heaven, eternal glory. But Jesus does more than just disarm the devil of his greatest terror. In Hebrews 2:14, it says that through his own death, Jesus destroyed him that had the power of death, that is, the devil. The devil thought that he had taken away the power of life from Jesus. But with Christ's resurrection, he not only showed that he still had the power of life, he also showed that he had taken away from the devil the power of death. Because afterwards he could say, now I have the keys of hell and of death. And he was the one who is dead and is alive forevermore. So Jesus not only has the power of life, he also has the power of death. And Colossians 2:15 is talking about that when it says that he spoiled principalities and powers and he triumphed over them through his death. He actually turns the tables on the devil and he makes the devil run scared. You remember when he was on earth and he walked among men, and whenever the devils saw him, their instant response was, oh, hey, Jesus, man, we haven't seen you in a long time, no see. Was it? No. They said, what have you done coming here? Why are you dealing with us? Have you come to send us to the pit before the time? He terrified them. I think the devils have a greater fear of death, of hell, than we do because they know the reality of what awaits them. People may fear hell to one degree or another, depending upon what they believe about what's waiting for them on the other side. The devils don't wonder, they're on the other side. They see exactly the eternal wrath of God that awaits them. The worst nightmares of our darkest imaginations could not even come close to the reality of what hell is like. But the devils, they don't need any imagination. They cannot escape seeing what is waiting for them, what's inevitable for them.